Or disability,
Give us a call at 265-HURT.
that's 265-4878.
We are your local law firm.
Local 3 Storm Alert weather, accurate forecast so you can plan your weekend.
If I had a dime for every time I've heard someone say lately, oh, guess what? It's almost football season, whether you love professional football, college football, or around here, high school football, you are eager for the season, and George Mullinex is too. He, of course, has Citiscope Magazine, and it wouldn't be the cusp of football season and not have a visit from you, talking about your edition of Citiscope. So good to see you.
Well, thanks for having me on.
How many years have you been doing the football edition?
Well, this is the 10th year that we will publish Citiscope Magazine's annual high school football collector's edition.
Okay.
And as we talked before, we'll profile 41 teams that compete across 15 different regions that span 9 different counties. And for every football team, we profile the coach, we show stats, we show rosters, we show game day stats. It's everything you want to know about your team. And then in addition to that, we have articles that are really entertaining that bring in past high school football greats. So in total, I think we list over 2,200 high school football players.
We'll get into the nitty-gritty of it in a minute, but let's talk about the heart behind it, because yes, you can get these at Barnes & Noble and other places, but really you want it to be a give back to the schools themselves.
Absolutely. So we provide the magazine to all the booster clubs in the area for free, and then we encourage them to sell it to others in their football community. And with your help and other people in the media, we promote it, and we just encourage everyone to buy for the booster clubs, because 100% of what they sell, they keep for their programs.
So you were telling me that y'all began working on this in March, and that way you've kind of got it ready to launch with football season in August.
Right.
It's a big magazine. There's a lot of information in there. Finding the stories, how do you go about doing that?
Well, we'll network with sports writers and other people in the football community, and we'll come up with our own ideas, and we'll share those ideas with them, and they'll give us their thoughts, and then from there we create and come up with the stories that we're going to show, and we go from there.
Okay, let's talk about what's inside this one. 41 teams, is that right? 41
Right.
schools. That's a lot of players. Is it hard for you to pick and choose which ones to highlight, or do you rely on the coach to kind of tell you that?
Well, we rely on the coach, so we'll show their key players. So we'll talk to the coaches about who their key players are. Most of the time it's their seniors, and we'll get pictures of them, or we'll take pictures of them, so it looks like they're in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then they're noted in the coaches' comments. So that's how we do it, and it's really with the support of the coaches that we're able to do it.
If you've been doing this for 10 years, does the feedback continue to be the same, that it's, I mean, not just pride for the players themselves, but the whole community of that school?
Absolutely. You know, our community rallies around high school football quite a bit, but to show student athletes like they're in the NFL, to profile the teams like we do in a really pretty glossy magazine, to show past high school football athletes that can relive the time that they played the game, it really is an uplifting way to serve the community.
Okay, tell the story. One of them in this particular edition is a 50-some-odd-year-old tale, right? One of the best athletes of the ages?
Well, we have an article called "The Best Kickers to Come Out of Our Area." We go back 65 years to a gentleman by the name of Robert Cotton Lettner, who played at Meigs County, a great place kicker, was All-State, then went to the University of Tennessee, but he's famous for kicking the winning field goal that allowed the Tennessee Vols to beat Auburn that year and end Auburn's 24-game winning streak in 1959.
Mark Warren watches this show on a regular basis, so if he's in his office right now, he probably just yelled, "Go Vols!"
Yeah.
I was glad to hear you say it.
Yeah.
So when people are listening to this, George, if they're thinking ahead for next year and thinking, I wonder if he knows the story of fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy getting community input?
Absolutely.
On
That's really how we do it. We get as much input as we can to come up with the stories and the ideas that allow us to include as many great football players as we can.
Right.
But absolutely, we're always looking for great ideas.
You also had, I think one of the pictures we saw mentions like the 20 players to watch this season. Are y'all crunching those numbers, or do you take information from the coaches that are given you and then have some accountant who helps you figure out who the 20 are?
Yeah, no, we get the information from the coaches
Okay.
and sports writers and other people that we work with, and from there we compile the top players to watch for the upcoming year.
You know what else I love about this? I was just looking at some of those. The art of being able to put together an excellent magazine is not always understood. It is not easy what you do.
Well, we have a great team of people, and they do a terrific job, from the writers that we have to the editing to the design. It really is a team effort, and we have a great group of people that really, they pulled this together and did an outstanding job.
So are these available now? Can you get them yet?
Well, they'll be distributed starting tomorrow, and we'll
Okay.
first be making them available to all the booster clubs so that they can start to take the opportunity to sell the publications to raise money for their schools.
Right.
And then they'll be distributed from there, and Barnes & Noble will have copies as well. So most people will be able to find them more probably starting Monday.
And it's fun to think about how you just don't know what the season's going to hold, right? I mean,
Right.
I know it can be easy to go into the year thinking, or the season thinking, oh gosh, what's the point? Because this school always dominates or what have you. But every Friday night is its own experience, and you don't know the outcome.
That's right, and that's what's kind of special about this magazine. There's a lot of predictions and projections, but all the coaches will tell you that injuries are really something that they are very concerned about.
Right.
And the competition can vary greatly from season to season. So we'll see what happens. It all starts next week.
Well, it would not be football eve and not have a visit from you, so thanks for coming again.
Thanks so much for having me on.
So look for it at Citiscope Magazine. No doubt your local booster club knows already about this way that they can do the fundraising effort. So you're welcome to go ahead and go to Barnes & Noble over the course of the next week. But if you can hold out, maybe buy 2 editions if you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get one at Barnes & Noble. But when you're pulling in, I guess, to the gate, right, to watch the games on Friday,
Hopefully that would be great.
that's where people are probably selling them. And again, all those proceeds from the booster clubs go back to the local schools.
That's right.
Great to see you, George.
Thanks so much.
When it comes to your health, local matters. Count on Local 3 News for expert local advice to help you stay well, live better, and raise a healthy family. Watch Eye on Health with Latrice Curry, Thursdays at 5 on Local 3 News.
Presented by the YMCA.
Now is the time to switch to